There they go again. Bells of Steel. Look at that thing. Bells of Steel hooked me up again. Another piece of equipment. This time the cable tower. They got this to my house. I assembled it yesterday. My first impressions, just like with the belt squat, I'm impressed, man. The quality of the materials they used, amazing. I'm not somebody that uses cables at home at the gym a whole of a lot. But when the guys contacted me and they were like, "Man, do you want one of these?" I was like, "Damn, it would be amazing." The first thought that I had was like tricep extensions. That's kind of the first thought that I had, and then it clicked, and I was like, "Damn, I could do those standing hip abductions, which I absolutely love." And I struggled to overload with the band because the band, the torque of a band is just, it's weird, man. It's like the strength curve of it is like super easy at the start and then really, really hard at the top, which the movement is already hard at the top by itself without any load. So to have like a linear strength curve to an exercise is amazing. And this is where these cables come in, and they're going to be amazing for me. So I'm going to use these for warm-ups. And then all these other ideas came around. I was like, man, I can do tricep extensions after my bench days. I can do face pulls. And obviously, there's 1,001 different exercises you can do. And now I've got this machine. The guys right now at Bells of Steel, they have like this sale on right now. You can get this at a really low price. They've got like all these sales happening at the moment. So if you want one of these, man, and you want to support me, I've got the affiliate link at the bottom. But you probably don't need this if you're a minimalist at home and you don't have a lot of space, at home and whatever. And this is kind of why I never got one of these. I never really prioritized this. Like for me, the barbell, the plates, the rack, that's the meat and potatoes. All this other stuff is just fluff. But when these guys, hooked me up again, I assembled it, and I was expecting like this thing to be large, but it's not. Like it really does fit in the corner, and I'm really happy with how much space it's taking. It's not like a behemoth like the GHD. The belt squat is massive, but the belt squat is the belt squat, and that's like one of the best freaking exercises you can do. So I was very, very happy to kind of, sacrifice that much foot space for the belt squat. The belt squat is just amazing. But for something like this, cables, I was like, I don't really want to dedicate too much space to it. And then I started unpacking this, and I'm like, actually, this is actually really compact. The pulley system's amazing. I had my mate over yesterday, and he helped me put this thing together while we were kind of chatting and hanging out. And he was like, "Man, look at these pulleys, like the what do you call them? The rollers. They're so well machined." And he was like, admiring the engineering part of it. Really well built stuff. Like it's sturdy. There's all these different stickers on the machine saying you got to bolt it down. You can't tip. I probably will, shoot a couple of bolts into the ground. So it's 100% safe. And then, my mate was like, I reckon you can do the full stack. It's not going to be heavy enough. And I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. And man, it is plenty heavy. I'm far away from a full stack, which kind of got me thinking. I'm like, man, if I start introducing like proper tricep extensions on this machine, or tricep push downs, whatever you want to call them, I was like, man, like this could actually be something that could be really cheap. It's not going to take a lot of recovery points from me. So this is something that I'm going to try and experiment with. Today I was kind of messing around with them, trying out the machine. Yesterday I didn't have a lot of time. I ran off to a night shift as soon as I put it together. But today I was kind of messing around for like 20-30 minutes, feeling out how it works, and it's very, very smooth. I'm very, very impressed by it. So I think I'm gonna properly introduce this into my training. And I'm going to try and progress the tricep pushdowns. I don't have the attachments for it. I know there's a 1,000 different attachments. I think what I want is the rope. That rope with the balls at the bottom? I think that's the best for tricep pushdowns. And then maybe that V-bar. I don't know, like one of those bars that I can do tricep pushdowns with. And then, after all of that, I was like, I'm going to try and train, but it's 40 degrees in the garage, I'm like burning up. I haven't eaten. I'm more like lethargic after the night shift. And I was like, no, let me just go to the gym and just at least work out in peace and cool. I got to the gym, I did my routine, low bar, high bar, overhead squats, everything that I usually do before my bench. And by the time I got to the bench, I was freaking exhausted. I got to 130 and I hit one rep and I just quit. I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm so exhausted. But that got me thinking, like, is it these low bar squats which have been taxing out my elbows and wrists, is that the effect of that to my bench press? Because this is probably the first time in a few months now that I haven't added a rep or a set to the bench session. So something to think about, something to really think about, and something to kind of, put on hold. Before I start introducing these tricep pushdowns with this cable machine, I really would like to know, control some of these variables. Like, is it the low bar squats that are making the bench suffer at the moment? I know it's one day. It could be just I'm exhausted from the night shift. But it's something that I want to keep an eye on and see what's actually happening, because bench felt horrible today. Really, really horrible today. The gym had the air conditioning going and whatever, but my hands were sweaty. I didn't have a good grip on the bar either, and everything just felt off. And I thought to myself, what, was it the tricep extensions that I did? The tricep push-downs that I did at home? No way. I did a few sets, man. It wasn't anything special, man. I wasn't pushing it. It was just to try it out of the machine. But, all these ideas kind of ran through my mind, because I was like, man, why is this bench feeling so crappy all of a sudden? It could be the low bar, which kind of what happened last time when I was, smashing out a lot of benching at the start of the year and doing all those PRs. Started introducing overhead squats and some ollie lifts and all that, and it just really fatigued the hell out of me. And I just stopped progressing and started regressing. So, shoulders, elbows and wrists in the low bar squat are definitely involved, which, to a great extent with the high bar squats, those joints are just chilling. There's no strain on them, which is why, like some powerlifters say, keeping the bar a little bit higher is good for the overall powerlifting competition, because you're sparing yourself before bench press. If you low bar squat and you go really, really low and you're really kind of holding that weight in your hands, your elbows and your wrists start copping, and all of a sudden the bench starts to suffer a bit. And obviously the sport is about, accumulating the highest total. And so something to consider, and something that is not, foreign. This has been well documented by a lot of different people, that low bar can tax your bench press through the wrist and the elbow fatigue. But anyway, it's one day. I'm not going to really call anything. I'll see how I go. The low bar is continuing. I'm hitting it basically every day for 5 sets of 5. I had all these shoes today because I planned to high bar squat and I planned to overhead squat. So I did that. Still very tight, man. Like, I don't think there was a whole lot of difference in me squatting in these ollie shoes. I'm just really, really tight from all this low bar squatting. My adductors are super tight. My hips are tired. But I'll push on. I'll keep pushing on and keep forcing these adaptations to happen in my hips and catch up with the rest of the structures. Because like I've accustomed my body to high bar squats like this. That felt freaking amazing. That felt amazing after the low bar squats. Low bar squats have me in this awkward position. It is brand new. I'm struggling to control the body, the hips, the knees. I don't know where I'm going with it. So it all sounds just like a new movement for me, and it's going to be a little while before I get accustomed to it. But this right here, the bench press, it suffered a bit. It really did. It felt horrible. So before I jump on the bells of steel machine and start, cranking out all the push downs, I got to work out whether, it's the low bar squats that are doing this to me. And the reason why I said that is because I just want to know what's happening before I throw in another exercise onto already noisy experiment, let's say. I want to know what's doing what. I had a really good run up until today. Now it seems like I've a bit of a speed bump. I just want to know what caused it. Probably the changes that I made with the low bar, but it might not be. So keep this space open. I want to thank Bells of Steel. Simple as that. The guys have hooked me up again. I am feeling really, really blessed. The equipment is amazing. You guys rock. And for all of you fellas that are listening to this, if you want something from Bells of Steel and you would like to support me, there's an affiliate link down below. I'd really appreciate it. I'm sure the guys at Bells of Steel really appreciate it. So thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to Bells of Steel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.